think that flashback from Willow was basically Willow seeing it as a challenge. And after that flashback, agreed to go for a swim with Chase, which I loved. That is some villainy right there from Willow, seeing Brook Lynn's warning as a challenge. That's exactly how I wanted Willow to react. Willow is a great villain, and I am rooting for her to have this affair with Chase and to break little Saint Brook Lynn's heart. What is up, fellow General Hospital viewers? Here to talk about yesterday's pretty damn good episode. I will say overall there was enough entertaining and dramatic things going on that I felt like it was a pretty solid episode all the way around, maybe minus the Sidwell and the women portion of the show. I talked about how I felt about that whole storyline yesterday, but let's start with Michael and Jacinda's plan to really try and push Chase and Willow into an affair, and I am so here for it. I am definitely enjoying it. It starts with Jacinda screaming just because she dropped sunglasses in a pool. Her excuse was she borrowed the sample glasses from Crimson and they're $700. She needs to get them back. He, meanwhile, was trying to warn her about being with Michael because we know Chase has this grudge against Michael. So after that conversation, Jacinda decided to leave, said forget about the glasses, but once she walked away, he dived in for the glasses anyway, as Jacinda was looking on. Meanwhile, Michael was with Willow, chatting about how she's going to be doing a photo shoot with the kids for a political magazine or something. Willow is glad that they seem to be working together rather than against each other, not realizing that Michael and Jacinda have this plan. The plan was to set Chase and Willow to run into each other yesterday during the episode. And that's exactly what happened, literally. Chase dived in for the glasses, came out of the pool, Willow ended up over there, and they literally ran into each other. And they had a little conversation. And during the talk, he invited her to go for a swim with him. He wanted to blow off some steam with the swim. She was cautious at first because Willow remembered the warning from Brook Lynn last week on Friday's episode, I believe, warning that if she so much as breathes on Chase again, Brook Lynn is going to make her take her last breath, basically. But I think that flashback from Willow was basically Willow seeing it as a challenge. And after that flashback, agreed to go for a swim with Chase, which I loved. That is some villainy right there from Willow, seeing Brook Lynn's warning as a challenge. That's exactly how I wanted Willow to react. Willow is a great villain, and I am rooting for her to have this affair with Chase and to break little Saint Brook Lynn's heart. So that was good. So Michael and Jacinda ended up going for their swim. They talked afterwards. Meanwhile, Michael and Jacinda were talking about Chase and how he doesn't have a wandering eye, but he always has this urge to run to the rescue. And that's what Michael and Jacinda want to keep using as they try and set Chase and Willow up to have an affair. Michael thinks that they will eventually cross a line, and Willow and Chase were chatting after their swim, and it was making Willow think about their time in the past together and the way they used to be. She ended up pulling this leaf out of his hair. I think the chemistry is still there for Willow and Chase, and I really am hoping to see this affair really be a blown up dramatic affair. And I don't know what Brook Lynn's reaction will be to it, but hopefully it brings out more of the old Brook Lynn. And if not, well, then I hope Saint Brook Lynn gets her heart broken. Lucas, meanwhile, was talking to the new cop, Fitzpatrick. We saw this at the end of Monday's episode where Lucas is trying to throw Pascal under the bus about Marco's murder, saying that Pascal was involved, telling Fitzpatrick he was obsessed with Marco, how he's still wearing Marco's tie. And Fitzpatrick said that they questioned Pascal during, right after the murder, and he didn't have a lot to say, and Lucas didn't bring up Pascal back then, but Fitzpatrick was kind of not wanting to dig too deep into this, so Lucas wanted to see Dante. Fitzpatrick said Dante was busy. Lucas said that he's practically family, so he wants to see Dante and Dante will see him. Fitzpatrick made a face. I do like that they are making Fitzpatrick be this by-the-book cop who is questioning the nepotism and all of that going on with Dante's work at the police department. And I think, even though I find the acting to be very, very, very wooden, I do like how a soap opera is kind of poking fun at how cops act on soap operas that only want to help people they know, people they're related to. It is different, and I do hope they continue to do that. Dante and Luas did eventually talk, and Dante sent Fitzpatrick to Windermere to invite Pascal for questioning. Before that, though, Liz and Dante were having a conversation. Liz telling Dante that Britt loves Rocco like a mother and has an instinct to protect him. Lulu ended up interrupting them, and Liz ended up telling her about the situation with Rocco and how Liz is the one that had the suspicions that Rocco might have shot Cullum and told Dante. Lulu got upset about how Dante was being a hypocrite, apparently, since he was so upset that she was keeping information from him and now he was doing the same thing. I think there were levels to the information that they were keeping from each other. So I don't think Lulu did a really good job of pointing out Dante's hypocrisy, because Dante wouldn't have had to get information from Liz if she would have just told, Rocco's father about Rocco in the first place. That's when Fitzpatrick interrupted them, though, regarding Lucas. Cullum started today's episode with Jack in the hospital to talk trash to him like usual, saying he's settled into Jack's office and found his black box, and Cullum hasn't gotten into the box yet. But Cullum is accusing Jack of maybe turning Britt into a WSB asset and helping her escape, which Jack denies. Cullum tried to get Jack to blink his combination, but Jack is not totally cooperating. Cullum went to go see Sidwell, but before he arrived there, it was Lucy with Tracy and Brook Lynn wanting to see Sidwell. This is after yesterday's episode when Tracy and Brook Lynn are trying to get Sidwell out of their company. Like I said yesterday, I'm not totally feeling this storyline. I feel like it's just another Sidwell storyline just to have Sidwell involved with so many shady dealings in Port Charles that it really goes overboard. Lucy was in a sling. They joke that she had some pole dancing accident, but I hope she's okay in real life. But Pascal told them that Sidwell's in a bad mood, doesn't want to see them today. But Tracy stood her ground, said that meeting's going to happen. So Sidwell came in with a fake good mood. But Tracy had news for him. It's going to be his last day at Deception because he's using the company for illicit purposes. Sidwell is, of course, upset that Tracy and Brook Lynn and even Lucy are taking these steps. He really tried to guilt Lucy and everything. That's when Cullum came to visit. So Sidwell had Pascal kind of entertain them and distract them so that he could go talk to Cullum. And they basically, Cullum and Sidwell, were both disgruntled over Britt and how they can't find Britt. And Cullum wants to maybe replace Britt on the project. That's when Fitzpatrick arrived and Cullum had to hide. Sidwell opened the door, and that's when Sidwell and Fitzpatrick had to go into the room and let Pascal know that Fitzpatrick is there to question him about Marco's murder. And Sidwell did not look very happy about this. This is still just, though, to bide time for the main storyline when a lot of these characters should be telling Sidwell or getting the information to Sidwell that it was actually Cullum that probably killed Marco, so that there could be this dissension between Cullum and Sidwell from working together. It still is not making sense why a character is not doing that. So this whole Pascal stuff is a distraction to stretch out the story even longer with the plot-driven writing. Nina went to go see Carly and Valentin at the end of Monday's episode. We saw Nina wanting to see Valentin. Carly tried to shut the door. Nina threatened to go to the PCPD about Valentin. Valentin came to the door and said, "Let Nina in." Nina let them know that she has a message for Valentin from Jack, which of course shocked Valentin and Carly because they now learn that Jack is speaking. Nina says that he's barely speaking and not moving, but that he wants to talk to Valentin, and Carly thinks it's too dangerous, and I guess Jack told Nina to tell Valentin a code word, which he did, which unsettled Valentin, saying that Jack is desperate. No idea what that code word's about, but it seems to have Valentin rattled. Nina told Valentin that he should have come to her. She could have helped him, but now he's stuck with Carly, and that doesn't work for anyone. I have been enjoying the Nina and Carly shade that they throw at each other when they have these scenes. And then Carly went to Jack's room first at the hospital. She didn't want Valentin to go because it's too dangerous. There's cops and WSB everywhere, but he went anyway. But Carly went into Jack's room first. Then Valentin came in with his hospital disguise. So they are going to talk to Jack. I have enjoyed that aspect of the story these past two episodes. I like the twist with Jack and the fact that Nina's not actually poisoning him like Willow thinks that she is. That adds good layers to that storyline. And then we have Michael and Jacinda trying to push Willow and Chase into having an affair, which I am hoping they do a good job of making happen. So yeah, there was a lot of good, solid things on yesterday's episode, and I hope they can keep that momentum up this week. I know we're gonna get back to the car crash storyline, which is going to hurt momentum like it usually does. But if we could have more of Portia reading Curtis for filth, I think that will continue to help that story be more entertaining.